Hello and welcome back to another episode of the tutorial series, the Starting Steps Remastered series. In today's episode, we're going to continue where we last left off, where we sent out our first trans-Newtonian vessels to explore the outer solar system. Since last episode, I have been thinking about a few other things, and I've decided we're going to keep doing this series till about the jump era, and depending on what you guys want, I will go further. But I don't want this to replace the Let's Play series, so I will stop at some point. And I will also be using the series as ways to show different principles in the game for further tutorials. Now, before we start, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help out. And as an award YouTuber, being in a niche game, it's quite hard on YouTube's algorithm. So if you could support that, that would be really important. Alright, so let's get right into it. Now, we had just started exploring essentially the outer solar system. We're going to get to Uranus soon, and we're also going to get to Neptune and a few other places. And next up is going to be, by the end of the episode, we're going to be colonizing other worlds. So to do that, we're going to need a few things. The first thing we're going to need is we're going to need to get our shipyards ready. So we're going to increase our slipway to 2, as we're going to need that. Slipway. And then we're also going to need probably a couple more commercial shipyards. So I'm going to put an order for 2 more. We have our industry going pretty well here. Research is also going well, and I don't really have any issues. Now, another thing to consider as well at this point is we need to start planning out how are we going to deal with planetary protection value. So how I'm going to deal with that is I'm going to use carronades to respectively deal with that. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to find energy weapons and I'm going to use carronades. If you just watch my latest video before this video, I did a video about planetary protection value. So if you want to go watch that, but basically we're going to make ships with just carronades on them that are going to be used for the planetary protection value so that we can colonize other worlds. Because citizens really like when you have big guns so they can feel safe. And if they're not big guns to feel safe, we're going to have issues. So yeah, in terms of logistics, do we have cryogenic transport? No, we do not. So we're going to want to queue that up. And yeah. That seems good enough. So now we're going to just, increase the time. And we're just exploring the outer solar system here. We just got our fuel consumption down a little bit more. Very, very nice. I'm now going to put the rest into trans-Newtonian cargo shuttles because I want to get our logistics sorted out as quickly as possible. So there we go. We just completed the research. Now we're going to go for the cryogenic transport. And we just completed research into the cryogenic transport. Very, very good. So now we're going to design a cargo vessel. So we're going to create a new vessel. And Napoleon class, we're going to, where is it? Freighter. We're going to designate this as a freighter. We're going to make sure it's got a conscript crew. And I'm also going to go into here and I'm going to use our latest engine technology, which is improved nuclear thermal technology. And I'm going to put the engine power down to 50%, so it's commercial. Well, not commercial, but I'm going to put it down to 50%. I'm going to increase the engine size to 60. And then I'm going to give it a company name, and I'm going to create the engine. I'm then going to go over here, I'm going to activate research for the engine. So there we go. And I'm going to put the rest of our research directly into construction rate. And then we're going to do 5-day increments at a time. Okay, very, very good. I'm going to put the rest into construction rate, as we're going to need to be able to construct our industry much, much quicker. Okay, and we're getting on the research facility here. Very good. So now we're going to put this into biology and genetics. I do actually want to get some terraforming ready, so we're going to plan that out appropriately. And then we just finished research on our engine. Then I'm going to go over to the Napoleon class, and I'm going to add in our engine here. We're going to add in probably 2 engines. I'm going to add a cargo bay, a standard cargo bay. And then we're going to add in a cargo shuttle bay. Now you can add some more if you want to reduce the load time, and that's probably what I'm going to do. I want to get load time to down, 8 minutes and 40 seconds for loading and unloading. That seems pretty good to me. And then I'm going to grab the fuel storage and I'm going to add that to the vehicle. So I want to probably give it about 60 billion kilometers. 60 billion kilometers. And that should be good enough for us. And then I'm going to copy this design. And actually, this is getting a little bit too slow. I'm going to add 2 more drives to this. Actually, 1 more. Yeah, we'll do that. I think that'll work out for us there because we want to hit about 50,000 tons. And there we go. So I'm going to delete this class really quick because I want to appropriately set it up. So we're going to delete class. And then I'm going to copy class. I'm going to get rid of the cargo hold standards. And I'm going to add in our cryogenic transports. So we want to match the BP here. So the problem is cryogenic transports are a lot more expensive than cargo holds. So we're going to just have to bite that kind of cost here. So I'm going to get rid of the cryogenic transport, and there we go. We got everything sorted out for us here. And that works just right for us. Yeah, and then I'm going to rename the class to. I'll select a name. We're just going to call it the Apicorn. That works for me. Oh, why is it not selecting name? Apicorn. Select name. Not selecting name properly. That's weird. We'll just call it manually then. There we go. So we're going to have to make 2 different shipyards for this just because the cost. So if you've seen my refit tutorial series, that's one of the reasons why. I will have another silver by 2032, so that'll be good. But we are going to need to get this commercial ship complexes done as quickly as possible, and that's with our construction rates getting sorted out there. So now we're just going to go by 5-day increments again. We've got some research we need to get done. I'm going to put the rest of our research into getting our better engine technology, because engine technology is kind of everything in this game in a way. So let's just 5-day increment turns. We've nearly gone through the entire solar system at this point. So that's very good for us. We complete research into the pebble bed reactor. So now we're going to put research into nuclear pulse drives, which is our next engine technology. And then we had a geological surveillance fail on the Discovery. So now I'm going to bring both of these home for forever now. Because we don't really need to survey anything else. It's not that important. It's just a few asteroids, and it's really not going to affect us that much. So I'm going to remove all, and we're going to basically disassemble these, as we don't really need them. And we do have those carronades available, I do believe. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to check for plasma carronades. So yeah, we do have those carronades available, and I'm going to create those plasma carronades. And then I'm going to go to our energy weapons. I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to research the carronade. And we're going to be using those in the naval shipyard accordingly. So we just complete orders there. And then we're going to wait for the other one. We're just waiting for the shipyard there. And then we're going to scrap them accordingly. So scrap and then scrap. And there we go. And those will get scrapped very, very nicely for us. And then we're going to come over here. We're going to create a copy of the Discovery class. The engines really don't matter. Nothing really matters here except for just making sure that we have the carronades on. So if I go over to the carronade, I just start adding them. So add. We don't even need engines, to be fair. And so they got 22 carronades. We can get rid of all the fuel, engineering spaces. We can get rid of the fuel because it's just going to sit in orbit basically. There we go. This will just sit in orbit, and it will generate 88 protection value. But we're actually going to want to reduce the carronades because it's not fitting under exactly what we need. There we go. That'll provide 48 planetary protection value for 3,000 tons very, very easily. And we're going to rename this to our new ship class. I'm going to rename this to Easy PPV. And this will basically sort us out for basically everything that we're going to need here. So we're going to retool the shipyard to the easy PPV class. And that will basically orbit, like, the entire solar system will be protected, quote unquote, by that ship, in terms that the populations won't really have any issues with that. So yeah. We're going to add in nuclear pulse, and then we're just going to do 5-day increments every single time. We've got the retooling done, so we are going to get ready to produce the 2 classes. We're currently scrapping these. There we go. We just scrapped them, and now I'm going to produce 2 more. Let's put them in the battle fleet. Boom, boom. And those will provide 88 PPV in total, which is very, very nice for us. We have some inefficient problems with this, and we're going to put that into our nuclear pulse technologies. So there we go. Our scientist died, it seems. And there we go, got the PV. So now that they'll be able to provide everything accordingly. Our construction RP rate just finished, so that'll be good because we want to get that rate up. So I'm now going to put the rest into our research rate modifier. So we're going to put that into getting our research rate up. And we're just waiting for that slipway to finish, and our industry is also going pretty well here. We should be done somewhat soon. And we added the slipway, so now we're going to retool for, what is the class called again? Napoleon class. So we're going to retool for that class exactly. So retool Napoleon, and we're going to construct 2 of these. And I'm going to go over to my industry, and I'm going to make sure that I have about 2,000 infrastructure. So if you know what colony cost is, for every colony cost, like point colony cost, you need like 20 infrastructure. So if I have a colony cost like Mars or of the moon of 2.0, that means for every million population, I'm going to need 2,000 infrastructure. Or for every 10 million population, I need 2,000 infrastructure. For every million, I need 200 infrastructure. So, I'm going to produce 2,000 infrastructure. And that should sort us out for what we need. So, okay, we just completed our financial centers and also our other stuff. And I'm just going to modify this to 10% just to get it slowly building up the infrastructure that we're going to need. And we complete our nuclear pulse technology. Now we're building up here for jump stuff, and I usually like to use ion for my jump when I first leave the system. But you can obviously go earlier or later or not get as high engine tech, but you gotta obviously modify that accordingly. And we just constructed 2 Napoleon classes, so those will be our freighters. And we're going to create a new admin command, and we're going to call our admin command the logistics command. So create admin. There we go. A bit of a misspell there, but it works. And I'm going to find the shipyard, freighters, logistics, and we're going to move those freighters over accordingly. And then we're going to go over here, and we're going to assign an academy commandant. So, well, not academy commandant, but we're going to assign a naval officer to move stuff, so logistics. And you can do it. We'll go for naval admin commands, and we want to add in for the naval admin command accordingly. So now we have logistics there, and that will provide bonuses for shipping and all of that stuff. Now we want to look at our colonizing targets, right? So we're going to create a colony on Luna. I like that it's called Luna, not the moon anymore. It's very, very nice. Oh, it wasn't that, but it's nice that it's called Luna. We're going to create a body on Mars, and we're going to colonize both of these accordingly. Now, there's a few things here. You want to colonize Luna first because it's so easy to get there. And really, the first idea of getting people on another planet is not about moving people. It's about establishing your civilian industry. Because if there's a place where they can send goods to and from, they will then generate ships and they'll be able to do things. You can then use this civilian industry to your advantage. So the reason why we're going to go for Luna first is because Luna we're able to generate population there very quickly, and the trade route is very short distance, so they can generate lots of income, lots and lots of income. Now we're going to colonize Mars for a different reason, because it has minerals. So even though Luna has nothing, we're going to use it for, it's going to be the economic planet. Well, Mars has 0.7 access, 4 million uranium, okay? That's a lot of uranium. And we're going to use that appropriately. So that's the main thing. But we need to get the infrastructure there first. So we're just kind of waiting now for infrastructure to get built, and also for mines and construction factories to get sorted out here. And that'll be very good for us. Now you can obviously build more construction factories during this time, but that's completely up to you. And it looks like I made a mistake here. We don't have enough maintenance facilities to actually support what we need. So we're going to want maintenance facilities to be produced immediately. So I'm going to up queue, I'm going to down queue everything else, because that is a bit of a mistake that I made that I need to rectify. So I'm going to find our maintenance facility, I'm going to up queue, and those will be done hopefully very, very soon. Now, as you can see here, we have 5,000 in capacity, but we're maintaining shipping tonnage of 6,000. We have to maintain 6,000, but we don't have that capacity. And so that's a bit of an issue there. So there we go. We got our capacity getting sorted out here, and now everything should be getting redone again. There we go. So we just very easily fixed that issue, even though that was a bit of a mistake by me. We're now going to get our improved nuclear pulse. So let's grab that. And we're going to keep doing 5-day increments. So we just finished the construction factories, and so now I'm going to put 90% into that. Actually, we'll put 50%, and then I'll put another 50% in that, because we are going to need those commercial shipping for the colony ships that we're going to build. We're going to need to build them for like one time, because then civilians can do it for us, which is very, very nice. But it is something to definitely be aware of. So we're going to grab our freighters here. We're going to load infrastructure. We're going to unload it on Luna, and then we're going to refuel from Colony. I'm going to cycle those moves accordingly. And so they should be done extremely quickly. All the infrastructure should be moved over there for about 10 million people. Now, why is 10 million important? Why am I doing 10 million? The reason I'm doing 10 million is because at 10 million, you start generating Panatite protection value, and you also start generally generating most of the stuff, and you can kind of control civilian economy when you get to 10 million. So that's the kind of cutoff that's important. So there we go. We just completed that. So now we have all the infrastructure over on Luna. I'm going to put an order in for 2,500 infrastructure to be produced. This will be for Mars. And we're going to move that over to Mars accordingly. So we just finished those two shipyards, and we're going to increase the capacity to 50,000 tons. So let's go for 50,000, and let's go for 50,000 again. And these are going to be for a few things. That's going to be for colony ships, and the other one is going to be for anything else that I may or may not need. Okay, now I'm going to put other stuff into this. So what do we actually need? We probably want to put 25% on our research facilities, because if you have 25% there, we always want to build research. You always want to build construction. You always want to research, because that will exponentially increase your economy. So I'm going to put 200 construction factories. I'm going to put in 100 more mines. And I'm also going to get an order in for some more military academies, because we're going to need that if we want to get some more officers, get some more research people, and get all of that sorted out for us accordingly. So we're just constructing all that infrastructure right now. I'm completely research into improved nuclear pulse, so we nearly have ion technology now. So we're going to grab that. Industry-wise, we're doing pretty much okay, as we can see. Our infrastructure is nearly done. I will get an order now just to move the infrastructure over to Mars. So infrastructure, unload all installations, refuel, and then cycle those moves accordingly. And we just complete our infrastructure production. We got another research lab. I'm gonna put this in sensors, because we are actually gonna need those for our jump technology eventually, because we want to hit that jump tech by about 2050, 2060, ideally. And we're just moving all that infrastructure over to Mars, as you can see over here. There we go. And I'm going to add another research laboratory. And we'll have those 50,000 tons done pretty soon. So we're just kind of waiting for the stuff to get sorted out. And now I'm going to go for construction and production. I'm going to add the shipbuilding rate. I just generally want to add stuff in here because those are a lot of the important technologies. And we're just moving that infrastructure back and forth, as we can see. We improved our gas-cooled reactor, so now we're going to go for ion drive technology. And yeah, we're just kind of waiting. Got another research facility. We're going to add this to there. Very, very nice. We just finished moving all the infrastructure to Earth, or to Mars, which is very, very good. So 2,500 infrastructure will support 11 million people. This will support 10 million people. Yeah, very, very nice. Yeah, when are we going to be done with those shipyards? They'll be done somewhat soonish. As you can see here, modification rate. As they get bigger, they'll be able to modify even quicker, which is really, really cool. And we just got our first civilian mining operation. So as you can see here, there's a bunch of research. You may be wondering, well, I didn't research that. That's because the civilians research their own kind of infantry and garrisons for their mining worlds. So on Cromlin, we have, I think that's a comet. We have a mining operation now, and then we can decide what we want to do with that. So here we go. They are mining all of these resources, some gallicite even. Ooh. And if we have a look at our wealth and trade, we can kind of decide, well, do we want to purchase that? Not really. We're kind of having we're having a bit of an issue in our overall expenditure, and so we don't want to pile that on too much more. So what I am going to do to combat that is I'm going to put in an order for 100 more financial centers. And once we get our civilian economy going, we should be able to sort it out largely, because at that point they'll be generating us income as well. So very, very nice. And we reach our target capacities. So I only need one slipway for this because we only need one colony ship, and we're going to retool. I'm going to build the Abercorn, and that will be done in 2039. So we just got to wait a little bit longer here. As we just wait for time to tick, and then we can start really exponentially expanding our ability to do things. So let's have a look at our wealth and expenditure. It's not looking that bad. I am actually going to buy this. So let's go to our civilian. I'm going to purchase these minerals, so that will cost us 500, which is quite a bit. It's annual though, so it's not that bad. And all of those resources are going to get, produced and constructed, and those minerals are going to get sorted out. Now we don't have any mass drivers, and that is going to be an issue. So I'm going to produce like 3 mass drivers. I'll put out 25%. And then I'm going to lower down the research facilities and then put in the mass drivers, and because we are going to actually need those. Mass drivers basically allow us to move resources back and forth, so we're going to need them accordingly. Okay, we just got to improve our active graviton strength, which will be important for our jump technology, our jump ship that will eventually be building. So let's keep going into that one. And we complete our mass drivers. So now if we go over here and go to the civilian mining economy here, so we have the stockpile, we can then send that back to Earth. And if we look at packets, thing we can see there should be an area where we can see it, but I usually don't do it. But we are getting those resources back very, very nicely. So that's good for us. And now it's 2038. And we're just kind of skipping through time here because I want to get to getting our first colonies up, because that's what I'm going to end the episode on. So let's just continue. Construction of research facilities completed, and now we're going to add that laboratory accordingly, and then going to put the rest into getting some probably automated mines, because we are going to want to actually mine like Venus and Mercury and stuff like that. We just got our shipbuilding rate increased, and now we're going to go for better mining. So 12 tons per annum instead of whatever. And we're just kind of waiting here. We're now at 2039. Production of mines completed. Very, very nice. And now I'm going to put in for construction on probably a few cargo short stations, probably 5. And then I'm going to put construction in on more mines. So we'll go for 100 more mines. You just always want to be building this stuff because it is going to be very, very important for you. You can always move it around, if you ever have any issues. We completed research on our ion drive technology, so now I'm going to put research into getting our jump theory, and then we're just going to keep going down. And we built the first apicorn. And then we're going to grab this. We're going to come over here. It's a freighter by mistake, but it should be a colony ship. We're going to load colonists. We're going to unload them on Luna. We're going to refuel. And we're going to cycle those moves. So there we go. First civilian industry right there. And the first colonies, Mars and Luna, 2 million people. I hope you've enjoyed watching. That's going to be it. And I'll see you in the next episode where we continue exploiting the solar system, getting more tech, all this stuff. I need to add some governors. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, you have an awesome one.